Consciousness returned like surfacing from immense depths. Not gradually, but with a sudden jolting gasp that achieved nothing in the suffocating blackness. My body screamed protest. A dull ache pulsed behind my eyes. Ribs felt bruised, muscles strained from the impact that never seemed to come, yet clearly had. Where was I? The fall, tumbling through endless dark. Had I landed? Was this death? No, death wouldn't ache like this. I tried to push myself up, my hand sliding against something incredibly smooth, cold, and unyielding. Glass? Polished stone? I reached out with my other hand, encountering the same seamless, frigid surface directly in front of my face. Panic, cold and sharp, pierced through the fog of disorientation. Trapped. Buried alive. My breath hitched, coming faster now, useless puffs of air in the void. Jake. Where was Jake? I strained my ears, listening against the frantic pounding in my own chest. Silence. Absolute, profound silence, the kind that presses in, that feels heavier than sound itself. No groan, no breath, no sign of him. Had he landed elsewhere? Was he... I pushed the thought away. Focus. Survive. Find Jake. Slowly, cautiously, I got my feet under me, swaying slightly. One hand remained pressed against the smooth wall, my only point of reference in the sensory deprivation. I took a tentative step sideways, sliding my hand along the surface. It continued, unbroken. No seams, no texture, no handle, no switch, just cold, hard smoothness. I shuffled forward, my other hand outstretched, soon encountering another identical wall. A corridor, a cell. The air was still, cool, and unnervingly clean. No scent of earth, decay, or the radioactive tang from above. Only a sterile, neutral emptiness. I moved blindly, one hand trailing the wall, the other held out to avoid collision. Step after shuffling step into nothingness. Minutes crawled by. The disorientation mounted. Was I moving in circles? Was this space vast or tiny? Without sight, spatial awareness dissolved. The sheer featurelessness was terrifying, a sensory vacuum that threatened to swallow thought itself. Claustrophobia tightened its icy grip around my chest. My foot caught on something solid, metallic. I stumbled, pitching forward, hands thrown out instinctively. They hit the smooth wall, stopping my fall, but the object I tripped over clattered across the unseen floor. The sound, sharp and distinct in the oppressive silence, was jarring. Hope surged. Something other than smooth walls. I dropped to my knees, sweeping my hands across the floor. My fingers brushed against a familiar cylindrical shape. Ribbed plastic. A switch. The flashlight. Relief washed over me, potent and immediate. My thumb found the switch. Would it still work after the fall? After clattering across the floor? I held my breath, clicked it on. Light exploded, blindingly bright after the absolute dark. I blinked hard, spots dancing in my vision. The beam, though weakened and flickering slightly, stabbed through the blackness, hitting the surface in front of me, and reflecting back, hitting the surface beside me, reflecting back, hitting the surface behind me, reflecting back. Mirrors. I was surrounded by mirrors. Floor to ceiling, seamless panels of perfect reflective glass formed the walls of this corridor. My own image stared back, pale, wide-eyed, dirt-streaked from the forest, multiplied infinitely down intersecting hallways of light and reflection. A mirror maze. Beneath the Chernobyl Exclusion Zone? It made no sense. It was madness. My relief curdled into a new kind of dread. This wasn't a natural formation, not a bunker. This was constructed, deliberate, a prison designed to disorient, to terrify. Where was Jake? I swept the beam around frantically. Reflections shifted, endless clones turning in unison down countless corridors, but no sign of another figure, no trace of Jake. Was he in another part of the maze? Or had he not survived the fall into this place? I had to move, had to find a way out, find him. I chose a direction, left, and started walking, keeping one hand touching the cold glass. The flashlight beam cut ahead, but the reflections made navigation a nightmare. Every turn revealed only more mirrored corridors, more versions of myself watching my progress. The silence returned, broken only by my own footsteps and breathing, amplified by the reflective surfaces. A flicker of movement in my peripheral vision. I snapped my head around, flashlight beam swinging wildly. Nothing, just my own reflection, staring back. My heart hammered. Imagination? Paranoia fueled by the stress, the fall, the zone above. I continued more slowly now, scanning the reflections constantly. There it was again. To my right this time, a reflection. My reflection seemed to linger a fraction of a second after I turned my head. Its eyes. Did they narrow? A trick of the light, the angle, the imperfect beam of the damaged flashlight? It had to be. But the feeling intensified. The distinct primal sensation of being watched, not just by my own eyes, but by something using my reflection. A deep, chilling wrongness settled over me. I picked up the pace, trying to outrun the feeling, turning corners rapidly. Left, right, straight, another right. The maze twisted, doubled back, opened into small, hexagonal chambers lined with yet more mirrors. Disorientation clawed at me. Was I making progress, or just spiraling deeper into this optical prison? I froze. The sound was faint, tinny, seeming to echo from the very glass around me. High-pitched, unnervingly cheerful. Laughter. Childlike, almost, but warped, carrying an undertone of malice that sent shivers down my spine. Clown laughter. Here, in a mirror maze beneath Chernobyl, the sheer absurdity, the surreal horror of it threatened to shatter my composure. It came again, louder this time, bouncing off the mirrored walls, seeming to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. I spun around, flashlight beam slicing through the reflections, searching for a source. Nothing, just endless corridors, endless reflections of myself, and the disembodied mocking laughter. Was it real? A recording played to enhance the terror? Or was my mind finally fracturing under the strain? Another flicker of movement, closer this time. A reflection in a panel just ahead. As my flashlight beam swept past, the reflected face twisted into a grotesque snarl, eyes burning with reflected light that seemed, for a terrifying instant, to originate from within. I recoiled, stumbling back, heart pounding against my ribs. It vanished as soon as I focused on it, replaced by my own shocked expression. But I'd seen it, or thought I had. The distinction was becoming terrifyingly blurry. The laughter intensified, swirling around me, mocking my fear, my confusion. I pressed my hands against the mirror panels, searching desperately for a seam, a handle, a hidden catch, anything that wasn't smooth, cold glass. Nothing. Solid, impenetrable reflections trapping me, mocking me. Frustration warred with terror. This place, this laughter, these phantom movements in the glass. It was a deliberate assault, designed to break me. My grip tightened on the flashlight. Investigators calm, the detached analysis. It was gone, burned away by adrenaline and mounting psychological pressure. Raw, primal anger surged. The laughter reached a crescendo, sharp and piercing. That was it. Enough. With a guttural yell that was swallowed by the mirrored infinity, I swung the flashlight with all my strength against the panel directly in front of me. Crash! The sound of shattering glass was immensely satisfying, brutally loud. Shards exploded inwards and outwards, cascading onto the floor. The reflection distorted, fractured, then vanished, revealing another mirrored corridor behind it. A hollow victory. But the act itself, the violence against the maddening perfection, felt like a release. Fueled by desperate fury, I attacked the maze. Smash! Another panel shattered. Smash! Then another. I ignored the risk of cutting myself on the jagged edges, focusing only on destruction, on breaking through the illusion. Shards littered the floor, crunching under my boots. The laughter seemed to falter, momentarily drowned out by the sounds of destruction, before resuming, perhaps a little fainter now, a little less certain. I smashed through a fourth panel, then a fifth in the same direction, creating a ragged tunnel through the layers of the maze. Behind the sixth shattered mirror, there wasn't another reflection. There was darkness. A deeper, more solid darkness than the reflective blackness of the mirrors. An opening. Rough edges of broken glass lined the frame. Hope, sharp and unexpected, pierced through the anger. An escape? Or just another level of this nightmare? Hesitantly, flashlight held high. I pushed through the jagged opening, careful to avoid the worst of the shards. I stepped into a space that felt immediately different, larger. The air was damper here, cooler, carrying the faint scent of mildew and something metallic, like rust. My flashlight beam, flickering more erratically now, swept across walls that weren't mirrored. They looked like rough-hewn rock, or maybe old, corroded metal plates bolted together. Water dripped somewhere in the distance. The oppressive claustrophobia of the maze lessened slightly, replaced by the echoing vastness of an unknown chamber. My beam tracked across the floor, then up the far wall, and stopped. Cast starkly against the damp, discolored surface was a shadow. It was long, impossibly thin in places, bulging unnaturally in others, vaguely humanoid but distorted, stretched, like a figure seen through warped glass. It wasn't moving erratically, but slowly, deliberately shifting its position. And it wasn't my shadow. My blood ran cold. The flashlight beam trembled violently in my hand. After the madness of the mirrors, the disembodied laughter, I was not alone in this deeper darkness. Something else was here with me, and it knew I had arrived. Just then the flashlight flickered, then shut off.